Welcome to Art Blender, the internet talk show where we interview artists from all walks of life and all around the world. I am Sharon Lee and I am your host. In today's show, we are interviewing Essra Mohawk. Essra is known as a singer, songwriter, and media personality. She has worked with world-famous musician Frank Zappa and appeared on Schoolhouse Rock. She shared with me her artistic beginnings in her home, the type of poetry she writes, how putting pen to paper is a transformational activity. Essra also shared one of her poems, her ideas about the power of prayer, and the issues surrounding being a compulsive creator. Well, I don't want to give the whole interview away, so let's go directly to my interview with Essra Mohawk. Hi, Essra. I'm so happy to have you here with me today.
Well, I'm really glad to be here. I actually wish I was on the other side of the lens because you're in California, aren't you?
Yeah, San Jose, California, and we're just in the middle of fall right now. But how's the weather back there for you?
It's cold. It's like in the 30s and sometimes down to the 20s, sometimes all the way up to like 62.
I'm a wimpy
But
Californian. I don't think I do well in Nashville. But you have a wonderful, wonderful music scene there, and I'm sure you have a wonderful artistic scene in many other ways. I know that you are a wonderful songwriter, singer, writer in general, just a creative soul in general. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this show is that you have you just overflow creativity. And one thing I'd like to start by asking you is, this is a podcast for artists, and today I'm focusing primarily on poetry. Is what age were you when you felt that writing it was important to you, separate from academic, that writing and putting words down, that it was meaningful to you?
well, I guess I was really young. My parents wrote songs together. I mean, not professionally, but they could. They were really very good. They sang well together, and we'd all hit harmony together, the three of us. But I would sing along, and when they were searching for a word to rhyme, no matter how young I could have been, 7 or 8, whatever, I'd always come up with the word that rhymes. So I could always
Yes.
fill in the blanks for them. So I guess that's really what got me started with, rhyming
Well, so you really
and reading.
were from a young age in a supportive, creative environment that really fostered and got you to where you that was the beginning of where you came from to where you are today. Um,
That's true. I got a lot of, praise and, for my work and my music and all through the years from my parents. I didn't get praise for everything.
what type of poetry do you tend to write? Is it a particular genre, or do you use it as a healing tool for yourself? If you could explain that a little bit more.
Well, I find that that poetry is kind of it's just like an emotional purging. You get a lot out of your system that when you want to say something, somehow putting it into a poem create gives you it's the essence.
Yeah.
You're laying down the essence, and I actually made some notes about this very thing, which is that it's like you can turn poison to medicine with poetry. You can take the harshest reality and turn it into profound and poignant literature.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you're taking a negative, turning it to positive. So it is a transformational activity.
So what would you say, like right now, like what are your inspirations for writing? Is it's really just life? Is it just the world around you?
Well, it's all of that, really. I mean, that is life. Though your life is does ripple out, and so does everyone else's to everything around us. We're all
Hmm.
connected, and So in Buddhism, it's Esho Funi, the oneness of life and environment.
I believe very much in the spoken word of poetry, and I would
Mm.
love to hear your voice, your beautiful voice, reading these words. Um, which one would you like to start with? Yes.
And this is called "If You Doubt It, Think About It." I never met you, but I bet you I'd like you because you're someone. Humpty Dumpty and the devil, they both have a lot in common. Ah, the tease of luxuries in the face of commonplace. You better be as good as you can be. Invisible eyes are watching thee. Judges leave us waiting in the halls while Santa sharpens his claws. If you don't believe in heaven, you might as well just stand by and watch them send your friend to hell. You might get away with murder, but who can tell? Well, someone can, and someone will, because someone gave you time to kill. You are someone not to waste. Welcome to the human race. Overpopulation is a haven for tactual maniacs. Those who cannot make it will have heart attacks. Death is the available alternative, but I refuse to give in because I want to live. Everywhere you turn, you bump into your brother. People push past the place of space, can't help but touch one another. All of us are hanging on to inches stretched by time. Police make petty pinches. Only conscience cancels crime. Don't knock your brother over. Don't let your brother fall. Whoever chooses to withdraw might as well not have been born at all. The pressure's on when everyone is much too close for comfort. Surely safety awaits thee in some port. Dimensions do tend to bend and distort. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. All the territory's been taken, illusions have been shaken, while others are restored. Possible solutions stand ignored. Hordes of humanoids have actually chosen voids, visionless valleys, dead-end alleys, frozen yields, fielding futures of famine. Should heaven help this cowardly horde? Put to shame by even the simple salmon, who sensibly accepts the struggle to survive, thus succeeding in keeping their species alive, yet the human horde bitches it's bored, rather than face its own place. What a sin to believe that you can afford to miss your own show. Quite a show. More rings than any circus has ever had to turn, filled with litters of critters that spread their seed beyond their need. See 'em burn. Howdy, humans, this is your race. You cannot deny it did begin. Against all odds, windows open, taking only bets to win. Yes, howdy, humans, this is your race, and nothing will ever take your place. Another curve leads to the finish line, the absolute end of your kind. I don't mean to frighten you, merely enlighten you. So while you're still here, I'd like you to know I really hate to see you go. New voice. Go where, nowhere, get drunk and don't listen to that bunk. Get real fuzzy and wave a flag for funk. There will always be the likes of we. Another voice. Unwind your mind. Don't try to think. Why drink? Stay high. Mankind won't die. Take junk. Next voice. Hey, baby, cut out that doomsday jive. We're alive. Just smile and spread your legs for me. My voice. Of course, I understand our growing need for some alleviation. Just try not to float down the drain. You'll erase more than pain. Please be patient. Such carrying on, such a fast-moving race, yet no one wants to drive. Will no one take the wheel for you and try to keep you alive? Well, humans, it really is your race. It's nobody else's but yours. A crazy few of you are concentrating on saving condors, while your very own kind is dying in spite of a healthy star. Yes, it certainly is a waste. Oh well, who can tell? Your kind could go far. I'm curious to what purpose lies in this polluted path you're paving. Are you simply unconscious? Or do you think yourself to be foul beyond saving? But then why do I love you so? Your life depends on a magic potion that exists in the ocean. How can you maim the sea from whence you came? But you no longer are fish. You may have what you wish. If you can't learn to care for your own precious air, then just where do you expect to catch your breath? I wonder, is your wish for death? Do you think you aren't even worth the pleasures of the earth? Can it really be that you choose to lose? You've destroyed and in general discouraged gurus. All those poor fellows want is the best for your race, and in return for their concern, you chase them, so back they go to their hills to hide, regretting that they even tried not to let you slide. As you continue to pursue a parade of passions, reaching for your irrational rations, may I be so bold as to warn you who are busy protecting your petty portion, your dear mama planet is seriously considering abortion.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was, there was great imagery, there was great emotion. It sounded as if it just had, and of course, part of it was your way of reading it. Well, I want to say one of the things that came out that I liked in the poem was when you put in parentheses, and I don't mean to frighten you, merely enlighten you. To
Mm.
me, that stops the poem and opens it up to another level. You know, it's saying, that, all of the images were wonderful, but I loved that part of it because it changes, it's going in the same direction, but it's opening it up, you know,
Mm.
opening it up.
Letting it in.
I would like you to read, before I read, if you could read, I think it was Banana?
Ah, yeah.
Could you read Banana, please?
It's, bananas. Since we were monkeys in the trees, we've been eating these long before we ever learned to straighten our knees. Before we put on threads or slept in feather beds. No dreams of world dominion, just bananas in our head.
I love that out of all, I mean, it's fun, it's cute, it's great imagery to it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what I would like to do, since we are on a reading poem focus here, if you don't mind, I'm going to read one of mine. And so it's called I Sat by Your Grave and Touched Your Name. I sat by your grave and touched your name, rubbing my tired fingers over your name, etched in stone. I sat there quietly, sharing words of precious memories and more, as tears flowed. I sat by your grave listening to waterfalls and nature sounds, feeling you near. I sat there quietly. Yes, honey, I put a new roof on before winter, as you asked of me. I sat by your grave wondering how just last year you were alive and now you are gone. I sat there quietly, thankful you were no longer suffering so, brought comfort to me. I sat by your grave rubbing my tired fingers over raised letters, your birth date, your death date, and the words, a kind, gifted, generous man, now flying high among the stars. And that was during that time. That was during after his death. And one of the things I'm trying to talk about on the show as well as is poetry as a healing tool. So, do you feel that your poetry, your writing throughout your life, has really helped you in an emotional sense, in a mental sense, to be able to get through life and to get through life's trials?
Words lots of times just come on their own, and I'm compelled to put them down. And having done so, and then you help them along once they get started. You know, you help them along a little
Yes.
and refine, and then when you've done that, you suddenly you feel peace. You feel like,
Yes.
okay, now I can rest. I feel good. I feel like it doesn't matter what else I did today because I did that. It doesn't matter what else I didn't do today because I did that. Is there some kind of completion that you feel inside yourself when you create that? And I'm sure it's the same thing whether
Oh,
you paint something or draw something, and you walk away from it and go, oh yeah, I feel
yes.
good. It's a good feeling.
If
Eugene.
people would like to, and I know many people do. I mean, you're a known name. But if people would like to reach out to you, would like to actually talk with you more specifically about your poetry and
Mhm.
your written works,
Mhm.
how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm really accessible through Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for. I need a new. Hey, out there! I need a webmaster. I need to get a new web site up. In the meanwhile, though, Facebook is good for connecting. You can just reach out to me. You can like Essra Mohawk music, and then you can message me.
What advice would you give to young poets and young authors? Now, not necessarily children, maybe children, but people that are really at the time where they're starting to put pen to paper or typing on the computer and getting, what would you advise them, or what would be suggestions from you?
Well, you want to always have some a notebook available, and fresh pens or whatever you like to write with, or if you like to, I like to write in longhand first, but you should just allow your thoughts, give your thoughts freedom. When something comes, bubbles up, write it down. Be prepared to follow your heart, and allow yourself to take yourself seriously. That what you're writing, don't judge it. Don't think, oh, who's going to don't worry about anybody else.
Well, and that's a wonderful place to end, because I believe that that's what true poetry is all about. It's about real emotions, real images, real coming from an authentic person, and an authentic person such as yourself. I've really enjoyed talking with you. I look forward to talking with you more in the future. And thank you very much, Essra Mohawk, for being on the show.
Well, it's been a real pleasure, Sharon. Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you, Dan.
welcome.
Thank you all. We'll do it again.
Hi, I'm Sharon Lee, and thank you for being a part of this episode of Art Blender. I hope you enjoyed this and other episodes featuring artists in their own words. What I hope to achieve with this talk show is to highlight the importance of art, which I believe is very much needed in today's world. I want to illustrate the power of art and give artists a platform to share their works. The creation of art can be a healing tool and a vehicle for growth and enlightenment. Art Blender is a labor of love for me, but to continue this series in the future, I cannot do it on my own. I am always looking for your thoughts and suggestions, or you can just drop me a note to say hi. Please email me at the address below. Also, I am always looking for great guests to be on the show. So if you are an artist or know an artist locally, nationally, internationally, please contact our producer and he will get back to you. In closing, I cannot fund Art Blender on my own for the long term and will need your help. So if you would like to make a personal donation or know a business that would like to sponsor an episode, please contact our producer. I am also creating a nonprofit to ensure that the money is used to bring you the most engaging content and ensure the longevity of Art Blender. Art Blender is a place for everyone who believes in the power of art and what it means to call yourself an artist. Thank you for watching today's episode.